Here we are in the L-410 at Wien, and today we are going to make a short flight to Klagenfurt. The plane now sort of ready to be released, just finishing up the documentation and tiny things here and there, so it won't take that long from now. Let's get started and bring life to this beauty. Turn batteries on, avionics on, check GPS if it has the correct route loaded. It is. Inverters on and the rest of the radios. Fuel pumps and crossfeed on, auto feather IELU and engine starting switches, position and anti-collision lights, and I think that's it for the overhead panel. So remove chokes to get a better view on the instrument panel, and let's start the right engine. When just generator reaches 20, I'm gonna defuel and wait for the engine to destabilize. Turn right generator on. And turn the window heat, and then we can start the left engine. Both engines look stable, so we can close the starter. And we can turn off the engine starting. Turn left generator on. And turn the rest of the equipment on, like DME, weather radar, and so on. And these switches are not functional yet, but it's fun to switch. Turn ice detect on, turn on circuit breakers for passenger lights, and turn fuel crossfeed off. And I think, yeah, that's it. Set flaps 18 for takeoff. Set the elevator trim. And set decision height and the QNH. Alright, everything is set, so we are ready for taxi. Apply some power and wait for the engines to stabilize. That's good, so parking brakes off and we are rolling. The usual taxi speed for this plane, but you can still handle, is around 10-15 knots. You can see the ground speed on the GPS. So be careful on throttle while taxiing. I usually set torque to 15-20-ish. And don't forget, airspeed on this plane is in km per hour, which is almost twice as in knots. Turning for the holding point. And here we are, ready for takeoff. Set propellers to full and apply a little throttle to get to the right RPM. Everything looks good. Landing lights on, and yeah, the pitot heat on for both sides, and we're good. Okay, I think we are ready for takeoff. Oh, I almost forgot the transponder. Set it on, and now we're good. Okay, let's check our departure route and let's try to kind of memorize it. Okay, yep. Turn on the GPS follow mode for the nav 1. And set the autopilot, vertical speed and nav hold for the climb. Set throttle carefully. Everything looks good, so release parking brakes and we are rolling. Rotate at 180 km/h. Positive rate of climb, so gear up. And set RPM back to 1900. Yeah, not 18, but 19. We are above 400 AGL, so flaps up. And follow the scene. Stay flying manually. Okay, let's just skip the boring part. Landing lights off. And another boring part, but here setting back the throttle a bit. You shouldn't run the engine at max power for more than 5 minutes. Since we're climbing into clouds, let's be cautious and turn on the airframe de-ice and prop de-ice and keep climbing with 250 to 60 km/h. Anti-collision lights off, and here comes another boring part, so let's just skip it. We are reaching 10,000 feet, our cruise altitude, so turn on the altitude hold. Yep, we just get there, and trim the plane while we are still flying manual. We need to descend a bit, yep, and we're good. So we can turn on the autopilot. Nav hold set, altitude hold set on autopilot. Reduce the throttle up to about 60 torque. Yeah, very good. And RPM back to 1700. Okay, let's prepare for landing. Set Kilo Foxtrot Tango VOR frequency 113.1 and ILS frequency 110.1. And let's stop here for a moment. This is our approach chart. From Umbel we are flying directly to Klagenfurt. We are at altitude 8,500 feet. And while descending 6,000 feet, we are going to head to Kilo India NDB, and we're gonna make a 1-minute teardrop turn back to Kilo India NDB, and heading to Klagenfurt we are again, and we're gonna make another teardrop turn back to the ILS to runway 28. Okay, so let's prepare for the standard arrival. Set our heading and hold it. Switch 113.14 Kilo Foxtrot Tango VOR and set the course to direct to Kilo Foxtrot Tango, and nav hold to follow. Okay, so let's set ADF frequency to 3134 Kilo India NDB. Okay, since we are landing soon, we should tell our passengers they should return to their seats for landing and turn engine ignition on just in case. Okay, I should have turned on the separation way and de-icing before, better late than never. Turn anti-collision and landing lights on. And let's start our descent to 8,500 feet. We are closing. And hold. Okay, let's set the new course to 283 to fly over the airport and then intercept that outbound radial. Having enough set, so we're good. Okay, let's start our descent to 6,000 feet. And here we are. You can see the airport just ahead of us. Set heading 330 to prepare for the teardrop. We're passing Kilo India NDB, so let's turn to 330 for the 1 minute teardrop turn. And while we do that, we should descend to 6,000 feet. Okay, we just reached 6,000, so altitude hold on. And set course to 103 to prepare for flying over the airport again. Turning left to intercept the 103 radial for Kilo Foxtrot Tango VUR. And let the autopilot do the rest of the work for us. Okay, it's time to continue our descent to 4,000 feet. And hold at 4000. Okay, we are flying back to Kilo Foxtrot Tango VOR, and 1.2 miles from that VOR we should turn left to 060 to make the final teardrop turn. Okay, we are 1.2 miles from Kilo Foxtrot Tango VOR, so let's turn to 060 to start our last teardrop to the final approach. Set the course to the final 283 and switch to the ILS frequency. And turning back to the final approach. Last check on the overhead panel, all good for landing. And set nav forward to intercept the localizer. And here we are, the final turn. So we can switch to approach hold. Today at Klagenfurt the weather is a bit windy and turbulent, but nothing we cannot handle. Okay, intercepting glide slope. And setting prop to max and slowing down a bit. You shouldn't really go below torque L-420. It creates so much drag to the props you can easily stall the plane, and since we're on final you can easily crash the plane. Sadly I did it a couple of times before, so be careful on that. Okay, let's fully established, so set the autopilot off and follow the ILS. It's going to be funny with this weather. Gear down at 250-ish. Flaps down. You really have to push the nose down while extending the flaps. It creates a great amount of lift on this aircraft. Just before landing, turn off the pitot here, otherwise because of the slow speed on the ground it can easily overheat. Keep the approach speed around 200-210 km per hour. Usually it's around 190, but since it's a bit windy, it's good to have some extra. Flaps 40. Whoa, nice wind shear.
Minimums. Lights up. Lights
50,
up.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Touchdown at around 180, a bit fast, and a bounce off. And we're on the ground, safe. Okay, slowing down and turn wheel steering on. Whoops, yep. Welcome to Klagenfurt. Captain Kangaroo would like to thank you choosing our airline. Hope you enjoyed your flight. Propeller back for taxi. And transponder standby. Landing lights off, taxi lights on. And ignition off, auto feather off, de-ice off, and radios off except intercom and VHF, and turn off all other equipment like DME, gyro and the rest of it. Flaps up, and let's taxi to the stand. And here we are, parking brakes on, taxi lights off, cut fuel for both engines, and turn fuel pumps off, window heat off, and position and anti-collision lights off. Fasten seat belts, cockpit and cabin lights off, IELG off, and switch off all the radios, and the generators and the inverters, and turn off the instrument lights, and turn off the battery as well. And yep, that was it. A short flight from Wien to Klagenfurt with the L-410. As of now, not all the systems are working in the plane, but as I mentioned before, I keep updating the plane and do a release as often as I can with the bug fixes and new features. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you in the next one.